Hello everyone and welcome to Matt Holman Talks Mental Health. I'm really happy to be delivering another episode of this wonderful session to talk with a friend of mine about mental health, the journey of mental health and all things mental health related. And hopefully it's going to be a great and positive experience today. Ellie sat there in the wings waiting to say a few things. We've had a great pre-conversation, so I'm really excited to welcome Ellie to this conversation tonight. As I always do, and I will always do with these sessions, I'm going to give my introduction to who Ellie is from my perspective. So how do I know Ellie? And then I'm going to ask Ellie to introduce herself and share with us all the wonderful things she does and how brilliant she is as a human being. So for me, I've known Ellie for 2 years. We found out that we probably met at the Great South Run. We have a mutual love for running and sport, and we both run with the same running club, which is amazing. And of course, at the moment, we're on lockdown, it's not as easy. So I know Ellie as this amazing and passionate person who has a lot of power and energy when it comes to activities that she performs and she gets involved with. So the sport she does, the work she does, and everything in life, for me, from the outside looking in, looks like she's got it all under control. Now, I'm sure Ellie's going to tell us the whole story, which is what this is all about. For the next half an hour, we're going to have a nice chat about things that Ellie's been doing. So Ellie, do you want to introduce yourself, please, to everybody that's listening?
Hi, thank you so much for that. That was a lovely introduction. Thank you. No, it was very nice. So yeah, I think we were just discussing it was the Great South Run, and I think we both came in around about the same time, which was lovely. So that's how I know you, Matt, and it's been very nice. We've often had lovely conversations when we've been out on our massive training run. So yeah, that's how I know you. I'm Ellie. I am mum to Lennon. I am a childminder. I have my own childcare business. It's really good, so that's great. I love looking after little people, which is good, and I think that takes a special skill of itself, should I say, to be entrusted with other people's children is probably one of the biggest things you can have, because as parents, dropping off your child to anybody is like soul destroying, but they're gifting them to me. They trust me implicitly with their little babies, and I love that, and I help them grow. That is incredible. It's really good, and you know, it's fab. So yeah, that's good. That's my job anyway. Obviously, I'm mum to Lennon. He's incredible. He's 10 and a half. I absolutely adore the bones off this kid. I really do. He's just lovely. I love him. And we are quite a sporty family. He does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu incredibly. I like to try and do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We both do judo together as well, which is good. We haven't done that for a while because of obviously COVID. But I'm a runner, which is how I know you. And yeah, I sort of thrive on sport, really. I thrive on anything that you can set yourself a goal and give yourself a focus. Doesn't matter what it is for me. As long as it's got something that's achievable or doable within it, that's what I like. So thankfully it's sport and it keeps you fit and healthy. And for me, that is a massive part of the reason why I'm so positive about everything, because of the benefits that keeping fit and healthy has on my mental health. So I'm very fortunate that they both go in hand in hand, which is why I think that the way I handle things could be different to how other people handle things, because I try and give myself focus and perspective and an end goal. So for me, the two things link very well together.
Love it. Yeah.
Well, it's not even fitness, it's health. It's internal health within your body and your organs, but primarily it's the mental health that you get. It's just the incredible result of the positivity that you'll get from setting yourself goals. For example, like, I really want a sub-2 half marathon, and then when you get a sub-2 half marathon, you're like, yes, oh my god, it's like a euphoric feeling. And then when you set yourself like a marathon time, you're like, oh my god, like I absolutely did it. So it's great, and it's just the positivity that you get from breaking your goals and achieving things. And you can carry that forward in absolutely anything. I believe that's worked for me incredibly well throughout lots of situations that I've had in my life. It's just given me a different perspective about how I look at things.
Wow. what a positive opening. I love that, Ellie. And, you know, I said to you before, and, you know, I allude to these conversations we had before we spoke, you know, before we did this. And, you know, your positivity is just going to be a rainbow and sunshine for so many people on this. I really do sense that
Oh,
from you. I really do. And, you know, so it's great, you know, sub 2 half marathon. Yeah, I can't think
please.
when the last time I did that was, but I used to be able to, and not a sub 2 marathon, mind, but that'd be
God knows. That would be amazing.
I wish I could do a marathon now, but it's just great to hear sort of how you see things like that. You know, we need to talk about sort of where you've been in your journey, and I really sort of I love these thoughts of sort of giving people the chance to sort of say, you know what, I've come through stuff. We've all been through lots of things, and you know, and no doubt you can explain some of those, but talk to me a little bit about what's happened in your life, you know, in the way that you grew up into where you are now. And we won't go past the point when COVID started, if that's okay.
No, that's fine.
Because that seems to need its own sort of chapter in all of this.
Absolutely.
Let's go to that point. So give me some insights. What's been going on?
Okay, so I'm the eldest of 8 children.
Wow.
So yeah, that's very noisy, and it was always a busy house. It was always busy, and do you know, my childhood wasn't necessarily ideal, but I will never forget it, because obviously it's your childhood, but it's made me the person I am, and I absolutely love that. Like, my mum and dad couldn't give me lots of things. You know, we've spoke about being rich before, haven't we? And my mum and dad couldn't give me lots of things, and I never wanted lots of things because I had everything that I needed. But what they have given me is the gift of being who I am. That's it. And that's invaluable. It completely is. I am as honest as they come. You know, there's no grey with me. It's black and white, and that's it. So I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I try and please people, but I think that comes from being in such a busy household, trying to keep everybody happy all the time, you know, by trying to do the right thing to make everybody happy. But actually, I think as you get older, you realise that you can't please everybody. You have to upset somebody's feelings, not like to make them sad, but just because you can't please all the people all the time. So yeah, I'm the eldest of 8 children. It was busy, but I'm very lucky because it's made me the person I am. That's great. Obviously, I was married to Rob for almost 11 years, and then we had a separation at the first week of January last year, actually. So I thought, flipping hell, like, 2020 can't be anything worse than 2019, that's for sure. But you know, even 2019, I handled it so well because my focus at that point, I don't know if you remember, was to just throw myself into London Marathon, and I was just training and training and training and training, and thank God for having a reason to get out of bed every single day, because had I not have had that reason, I just would have been a complete mess. But because I had focus, and I had to get up every single day. I had an 8.5-year-old. I had to get up every single day. I had a business to run. I had to get up every day because nothing's keeping me down. That's it. That is it. I'm not giving it time. You can't necessarily make things work if they're not meant to be. And that's it. And the harsh reality of it is, I'm a better person for it. You can't. If you'd have been in something that was unhappy for the rest of your life, imagine how sad you would have been regretting all of those years. And that's it. Like, even this year, I haven't regretted it. And we'll talk about that a bit later on. But, you know, I've been so lucky that I've been able to give myself focus. And it was London Marathon last year. And then after London Marathon, I had a great summer because I made sure that I had something going on every month to give myself something to look forward to. And then it was just a great year, all things considering. It was absolutely incredible. I had a fantastic year at work. Lennon and I, you never think as parents you can better your relationship with your child, but it's next level, and it really is. And I'm so happy about that. So yeah, we got through a turbulent year last year, and I think I said to you, 2020, oh my God, the drink of my youth, it's going to be incredible. I'm going to smash the life out of 2020. I've been training for Paris Marathon. I'm going to get a good for age. I'm doing really well at judo. I want to get my brown belt in judo this year. I want to do a competition in jiu-jitsu. No, none of that happened. I had concerts. I've never been on the telephone trying to get Killers concerts for hours and hours, and I got them. That didn't happen this year. Nothing. Holiday didn't happen. And I even booked a cheeky holiday to go to Turkey in the half term of October this year when everything was clear. 2 weeks before, cancelled. Like, seriously? People have gone away, not me. No, there's no point being sad about it, is there? You know, it's only a holiday, and if that's all I've got to be unhappy about this year, then it's not much, is it?
No, you know, so many things in there that have been cancelled, and it just is so representative of this year. Cancel the year, let's get gone, let's go into the next one, and hope
absolutely
we can go back to those. But it's fascinating listening to you. I'm totally sort of drawn in by your positivity around anything, you know, and especially sort of, you know, the separation and the sort of rebirthing yourself in many ways into this new sort of like life with your son and what you do and the work you do and things like that, you know, and actually that just carry on regardless, you know, of what's happening. I still have to get up in the morning. I think that's such a powerful statement, especially for lots of people who really struggle with that as well, you know, because these events, these life impacting events, let's call them that, you know, because they are really.
Oh God, it was hideous, absolutely horrendous. I mean, I'm a small person anyway, but I was tiny last year, and looking back on myself, I'm like, how on earth did you function doing, like, working 10-hour days, 5 days a week, training for a marathon, you know, keeping myself together in front of Lennon every single day, you know, that's a massive task on its own. And then what I am now, I'm me.
Brilliant.
And I haven't been this person in my life. That's it. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate at my age, at 37, that I can go, I'm completely happy with how I am, with everything in my life. I am happy, and I'm very fortunate. That goes without saying. It absolutely does. I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.
Brilliant. You know, and I well, what can I say when you know you feel that way? And I think that's something, you know, we want to bottle these thoughts and these feelings to help supporting other people as well. And I know you do a lot of that in the work that you do as well. And we'll get into that in a second. But the COVID conversation, you know, we'll have to have them during these sessions, I'm afraid. But you've got a different perspective to lockdown, to COVID. You've explained the things that cancelled and the, you know, unfortunately we couldn't do. What was it like for you? How did you cope with that?
So
first lockdown, even into the second one.
Yeah, well, I'm a childminder. That's my job. So I had key worker children while COVID was going on. Lennon had just come out of the hospital for an operation, and actually Rob and I had a discussion. He went into the hospital on the Monday. The Tuesday was my birthday. We pulled him out of school on the Thursday. Because the news was going crazy. And obviously back in the beginning, it was just hellish. I mean, I've watched a lot of The Walking Dead and zombie apocalypse films and all that, and I was just like, oh my God. I knew it wasn't going to be that bad, but in my head, I couldn't rationalise what was going on, because in our lifetime, okay, our parents, our grandparents, nothing like this has ever happened. And the disadvantage that we have now is social media. And social media is incredible, but fake news, oh my God, it's just horrendous. And I was seeing stuff and listening to the radio, seeing stuff on the television, on Facebook, on Insta. I was thinking, oh my God, the world is over. It's absolutely hideous. So back in the beginning, I was absolutely terrified. But I was working every single day, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these kids could bring COVID into my house and I could get it and I might die. And what about Lennon? Like, he will be left with Rob, and, you know, have his dad, that's great. But what about me? Or what if Lennon gets it? Or what if any of my friends and family? And we couldn't see anyone. And it was literally just me and Lennon and two little kids in my house that I looked after. And I was terrified, because I was working and I was trying to maintain an academic level for Lennon, because he's quite a high achiever at school. I was trying to do all the mum stuff, and I was seeing, like, friends of mine who are absolutely incredible mums just doing all of these beautiful things with their kids and enjoying furlough. And I got really bitter. I got really pissed off almost, because I'm like, I can't do that with my kid, because I'm got half an income coming in now and you're sat at home on 90% furlough. And it really annoyed me, drinking gin and tonic at, you know, 12 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, and I've still got 6 hours of work ahead of me. So I got pretty bitter about that. But I think I said to you, I didn't allow myself too long to be upset about it all, because I was a lot luckier or more fortunate than some people were. So I think, as I said, like Easter weekend, I got sad. And for the first time in my entire life, even after the rubbish year that I'd had last year, I took myself up to my bed and I cried for about 2 hours, because I was like, I'm supposed to be at judo now. It's 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. The sun is shining, but we can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. I should be in Paris in a couple, it was just horrible. But I give myself that time because I needed to have that time to be pissed off at people, to be upset with myself, to grieve all of these amazing things that I had planned for this year. And I give myself that time. And, the day after, the Tuesday, I think after the bank holiday weekend, I was like, right, you've done. That's it. Go and blank your calendar out up until the end of June. Take everything off there, because you lift up the next month and you see, I'm going to a Lily Moore concert, or I'm seeing the Killers, or I've got this plan. Blanked all of that out. Blanked my whole calendar out until the end of June, because I thought, I don't want to see things that I should have been attending. Okay, yeah. I'm making things happen for now. That's it. Every day is a gift. And I remember the first day that we could meet people again. We could go out on a run within the 2-meter rule. Oh my God, to see actual people. When I was out running on my own, I remember going out running on my own and thinking, I train for marathons. I run 26.2 miles. I do that sometimes twice a year. So I'm running all year and I can run well. But I couldn't break 4 miles on my own. I absolutely hated being on my own. I just absolutely hated it. But after that weekend, I was all right with it. It was fine. I thought, give yourself a goal, give yourself a focus. Your focus will be the end of June. And then that's great. And then if at June, you're looking like you need to adapt, then adapt and blank July out. And that's what I did. I rolled it on monthly because I didn't want to dishearten myself any further. So again, it comes down to those goals. London Marathon was my goal last year, and it was the end of June this year, and I had a great summer this year. It was brilliant. Amazing. Like, me and Lennon had the best time. Yeah. We've only eaten out in a restaurant once this year, and that was the weirdest experience. We went bowling, equally weird, but we went to places that we've never been to before. We went out on bikes. We connected with, it's going to sound really bohemian, but we connected with nature again. I got so much time with Lennon that I would never ever get back. You couldn't pay for the experiences that we had, because we do all these amazing things together, these sports together, and that's brilliant. Like, I'm so lucky, but we don't spend time together. And we spent so much time together this year. It was brilliant. And if I'm feeling sad, I look at the pictures that I've had developed of this year. I'm just going on bike rides in woods, building dens, going to like a local seaside that we've never been before, just making so many memories. I've been so lucky. This year has been a gift to me.
Amazing. And, and that's lovely to hear as well, because there are a lot of people that see it as a gift, and we forget that sometimes too, don't we? Because we often just hear negative news. The press is all bad, it's all doom and gloom, it's all grey skies, and even when the sun's shining, all we're hearing about is a number of people that are sadly becoming the victims of the COVID crisis. And and it's so refreshing to genuinely hear somebody having the positive experiences. And I think that is really good. Social media has a wonderful opportunity to improve our well-being. The challenge is we have to filter out all the stuff that reduces our well-being, and as positive as we can be, somebody can quickly jump in front of us and take that away. And I love the way you did, and the thing I'll take away from that is that thought of not making those plans visible. So if things are going to change, if we do extend lockdown beyond Christmas, this one that we're in now, of course, maybe there is the plans that say, what? Somebody asked the question today, I saw in social media around, the Christmas break that they're talking about, having this 5 days. Do you think it's a good idea? I said, no, I don't agree with it. I said, I'm actually quite looking forward to celebrating Christmas in the summer. I'd quite happily do that Australian style. It would be a different experience. And I don't know about you, but there's been a wonderful opportunity, and you've said it actually, so I do know what you've said. Is about trying different things, new experiences. Absolutely. Whilst the restrictions have been put in place, it's made us more, I think, creative. What do you think?
Absolutely, completely. Like I say, I'm so lucky with my son because we have such a unique bond. I'm very fortunate. And we're busy all the time. And I've said this before, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, but we do a lot of stuff together, but we don't do a lot of things together because we're always coming home from school, going straight out training, coming back, have some dinner, going straight out training. But this year, we've been going out and enjoying each other's company. I mean, we went out for a bike ride, right? And this was probably one of the first weekends we could meet, you know, when you could mix bubbles. And Lennon's riding his bike and he got a bit of grit in his eye. And I was like, for God's sake, mate, it's our first weekend out. What? Oh, these things always happen to me. Well, anyway, he come home and I had to take him to the hospital. And I was like in the middle of a global pandemic. Oh my flipping God, like literally that is the last place I wanted to be. But we laugh so much about that now. It seemed like so far away. It feels like we have achieved so much in this year. I was sobbing when Lennon went back to school in September, and I put a post on my social media because I want to remember that day. I want to remember everything that I said that day because I sincerely meant it. It was like having maternity leave with a 10-and-a-half-year-old. I'm so lucky.
Wow.
I'm absolutely lucky. Goes without saying.
What a great analogy as well, you know, maternity leave with a 10-and-a-half-year-old. I think that, you know, I hope lots of people had that same sort of experience with their children, you know, shared different experiences, did different stuff and really invested time in that, you know. Thinking back to when I used to travel with work and work all different places, and you know, those were the things that we would have missed potentially. And you know, it's great encouragement. You know, your words of wisdom are so well founded from your experiences of where you've been, what you've been through, you know, and you were like you said to me about wealth, you know, and you don't have to be financially wealthy to be wealthy, you know. It's more about what you have, not sort of material, you know. And I love that.
Take it with you, can you? You can't. You can leave an impression and a memory and a stamp on somebody. And you know, I want Lennon to look back on his life and go, my mum and dad did absolutely everything right. You know, we didn't always get it right. Those first few weeks of lockdown, how I didn't have social services knocking on my front door because I was screaming at him, do your bloody homework, was like ridiculous.
There's a few families who had that challenge.
But we look back on it and we absolutely laugh. You know, we were making parachutes out of yogurt pots and throwing them out the window in the back garden. We were having barbecues on bricks, you know. We would never have done that because I would have been, no, we haven't got time. Like, come on, we need to be here and do that.
You're touching on something that's really important there, time.
Yeah.
We run our lives on a clock that's strict, you know. And I'm as bad as anybody else. And I talk about this 24-hour humans thing all the time. And, you know, actually the realization for me is about every day is an opportunity to do more, you know, to do so. I shared a really lovely cartoon, a Snoopy cartoon. I don't know if you saw it, caught it, but it's Charlie Brown and Snoopy. And Charlie Brown sat there saying, you only live once. Snoopy says, no, you only die once. You live every day. And I think that's such an important part of
completely.
Positive mental health for me is exactly that. Investing time, right, to your point, in the things that mean something that are going to make people feel better and not worse. You know, and do things that challenge yourself as well. And it's great, you know. So lots of DIY's been happening and lots of things around the house and stuff. But you've also launched another business. So that's the other thing. I wanted to just bring that into this. Your face there is lovely. Like, I forgot. Did I? I forgot about that. So talk a little bit about that as well, because I want you to have the chance to talk about what you do, because it's linked to this conversation as well.
It is. Now, this a passion of mine. It really is, because obviously I'm all about sport. I love sport. I love keeping fit. And as I've said to you, and I've said this a million times before, how you look aesthetically is never important to me. You've often seen me looking like a bag of crap first thing on a bloody Sunday morning because we're going out running. So there's no need to look great. There absolutely isn't. And, you know, I've got an athletic physique, so that, you know, is a byproduct of the work that I do. And that's for nobody. That's not for anybody. That's, you know, it is what it is. Oh, Ellie, she's got a six-pack. Great. Big deal. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant to anybody. It is a direct result of the work that I do for all of the training. And this year I've been so lucky because when we had the break when we had COVID, it gave us a break in marathon training, and it gave me an opportunity to try something new in terms of a new training plan, which I'd always wanted to do, but I was worried about how it would affect my running. So this year, because we had time and opportunity, I reconnected with a friend of mine who's a PT, and I've been put on this training program. And do you know what, Matt? The transformation aesthetically was brilliant. I didn't think I could improve more on how I looked in the first place, but I did. But that is irrelevant, because the biggest improvement is my mind.
Yep.
Literally, how I am is, I would have paid her 4 times the amount that I did for this improvement in how I am. And when the opportunity came along to start this online business with Arbonne and the message that they promote, do you know, I didn't even give it a second thought. I jumped right in with 2 feet, because I trusted her judgment, and I trust her with how I am. So when the opportunity arose to work for this amazing B Corp company, and they're all about sustainability and about, you know, cruelty-free and vegan products and the planet, and we need to look after that now, because if the world carries on as it is, there's going to be no planet for our kids, you know. So the message for me was incredible. But part of what you get with Arbonne is the personal development is a massive part of their training. It's incredible. So we, like 2 nights a week, we do personal development training, and it's brilliant. Amazing. The gift, the tools that they've given me in order to better myself is great, and I'm earning money from it. And they're giving me all of this free, like chatting to you, free personal development. It's amazing. Bloody brilliant. It really, really, really is. I'm so fortunate. Amazing. I'm so fortunate.
So for anybody that is listening or watching this, where can they find out more information about this, Ellie?
So you can find me on Ellie Mirabita on any social media, and you can drop me a DM and yeah, we could happily have a chat, because there's such a big link between fitness or health and well-being. There absolutely is. And the link, I mean, we've been speaking about this a lot prior to actually coming on, but the link is incredible, which is why I'm always like, we've got a good challenge starting, because it literally takes a couple of days to start seeing results in anything small, but it invokes like a positive change, doesn't it? And then the following day, you want to better on that. So it really is a really good opportunity that to give yourself some form of focus, and the, you know, the chemical balances that you get as a direct result of training. I mean, you never regret a training session. The only one you regret is the one that you didn't do.
I feel a bit guilty now. I keep skipping training sessions.
Do you feel guilty? Do you regret those?
I do. You know what, I do. You're right. You're absolutely right. And you know what, I know that, and I beat myself down too much about it. And you know what, I try and do stuff, and you know, I talk about organising my diary and being really clear on my schedule. The thing I don't put in there is the thing I should, which is the activities, the sport. You know, I walk my dog twice a day. But
that's just as beneficial.
But I don't get a sweat on walking him, unfortunately. So I don't.
But you don't have to get a sweat on. And this is the thing. People see what I do and they think, oh, she's really fit. She runs marathons. She does judo. She's like doing this, that, and everything else. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. But I love walking. I love putting my earphones in and listening to podcasts. I'm listening to a really funny one, and I swear people must think I'm a maniac as I'm walking down the road, because I'm roaring with laughter. That is equally as beneficial to you in terms of positivity than it is running 6 miles at the fastest pace you can. It doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're doing something, you know. And pockets of time, people go, oh, I haven't got time, I'm far too busy. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and the first 2 hours of the day are my self-care hours. I journal and I write my affirmations down and I write what I'm thankful for, and then I go and do my hour of training all before I've started work. Amazing. Pockets of time. You know, that's just how I do mine. But people go, oh, I haven't got time. Don't watch that crap on Netflix that you've watched 4 times already. Absolutely. That's half an hour. Go and do a small bit of circuit training or some yoga or some meditating. It doesn't have to be fast paced, just needs to be self-care of some description.
Thank you. I feel motivated to go and watch Netflix now.
You need to come and watch Netflix.
Yeah,
so you need to do my 14-day challenge.
I do. You know what? I'm actually quite keen to do that. Let's make a pact now. I'm going to think about it.
You're going to do it. Come on.
I don't know what it means. Send me some stuff, and you know, I'm going to be a guinea pig, and I can come on your Insta Live.
Well, I'm doing
about it.
If I can do it, you can do it. But this 14-day challenge is really good because it's all about breaking habits that you've got in place already and swapping them for changes that you can use going forward. So, that quick first thing you do in the morning, wake up, grab a cup of coffee because it gives you an instant high. Don't do that. That's like synthetic, have things that naturally boost your endorphins, like exercise, and have natural products, and don't have toast for breakfast, for example, because you get an amazing supplement pack. So it's all about making healthier changes that you can use going forward, which are only going to better your lifestyle and your happy place.
I'm convinced. I'm sold. I'm converted. Whatever it is, I'm saying. And by the way, this isn't coffee. This is water in here. So just in case you're watching this,
Gin.
I have a mug, and it looks like a coffee mug, and it is a coffee mug, but it definitely has water in. Ellie, we're coming right to the end, and I've loved this conversation. You've said a lot of wonderful things. So big thing I want to understand or ask you is, what's your target for next year? Because that was one big thing. You like your targets. So what are you targeting for next year? What's your ultimate goal for next year?
I just want to make it to Paris next year now. I won't lie.
Paris is the marathon for anybody that's listening, not just for a nice weekend away.
Nice little jolly.
It will include a marathon.
Yeah. Do you know what? What I want for myself is the amount of happiness that I've had this year. Or next year, and going forward, and just creating more and more and more. I think this year for me has been the foundation of my life now. It's been the first layer.
Great building block,
the bricks, and then eventually we'll get like an entire house out of it. That's my analogy. So this year has been the foundation of me, and I love that.
And you know what? And so you should be proud of everything you've been through, where you're at in your journey, with all the stuff that you're doing. You're helping young children in the classroom at your house, supporting them in the sort of preschool stuff. You're helping people with their lifestyle changes, perhaps, and you're helping yourself with your positive mental health. It has been an absolute pleasure for me, and I've known you for a couple of years, and not really known you. I feel like I've really got to know you in the last 30 minutes. How incredible is this, right? What do I say every day to people when I'm training them? It's like, we just need to tell our stories sometimes, and then people understand our motivations and why. Because what we tend to see is the positive side. We see the positive. We don't know the driver for the positivity.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you look at people and go, oh God, here comes, this positive person they're always happy, and they must have loads of issues or be on loads of meds, right? That's going to be the reality. But sometimes it's good to understand why and how that's happened. And that, to me, is exactly what this conversation is about. It's about you, Ellie, being a true representation of yourself. No show, just real. And I love that. And you know what? I'm just so happy. This is like the second recording that I've done. And it just seems to be like, I'm enjoying this. I hope you've enjoyed it.
You've got to go. But no, it's been brilliant. I think to be as authentic and as true to yourself is the most important thing, because if you're not, the only person you're lying to is you, and what's the point? What's the point?
Really,
it's pointless. Just get up and be you, and don't worry about what other people think of you, or negativity is such a terrible thing. And like, don't get me wrong, some days I'm guilty of listening to what people think and think, oh my God, like I'm not doing right. But then I realise, do you know what I am? I'm so lucky. But I make my own luck. I'm not giving that to anybody. That's me. That's all me.
Keep on doing that. Keep on being lucky. Keep on being awesome. It really has been a pleasure, Ellie. I'm so happy we managed to make this happen. I don't even know how this happened. It was just it was meant to be, right? If you're a believer in fate, we were meant to be today.
You about this.
You did, yeah. You were trying to fool me something, weren't you? I love it. You were going to sell me happiness in some whatever it was. So pleasure. I will catch up with you soon. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now. So thank you for anybody that's listening. Please do follow the conversation. If you want to get involved yourself, if you want to have a 30-minute chat or whatever it is, 30 plus minutes, I don't really care. I'm not that fixated on the time, but we have to try and make them sort of bite-sized so people can do them in their morning sort of dog walk if they want to listen. If you want to get involved, please do contact me, reach out through all the channels. I'm going to do my sales pitch like Ellie did, so I'm all over all social medias. So please feel free to get in touch. I'd love to have conversations with lots of people. I've got a whole list of people now growing, which is fantastic after launching
Good.
one episode, and I'm reaching out to a few as well. So please do join the conversation. Mental health is a conversation that we all need to involve ourselves in. There is no health without mental health. So thank you so much, and I'll be speaking on one of these again very soon.
I can't wait. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate
No
that.
worries. You're welcome.